welcome back to Frequency Phoenix 555 for your message or messages. Come in! Come on! I've got intel. Recon is afoot. Are you wondering what happened to the music? Listen, Big Cat, I'm a one-woman show, and I wasn't expecting the live to come through so quickly. Didn't even give me a minute. And I can't see what you're saying, but I told you, Big Cat, many times. If I don't have the spectacles of truth round my neck or in my hand, I can't see what you're saying, and I can't see it for you. Anyhow, let's stop with the playing about and get to it. Now I can see what's going on. Namaste, Big Cats. Big Cat Wave. Did you miss me yesterday? I was so busy minding my own business. It took me a good 36 hours. As it must have you, darling dear. I'm coming to you today because it's the last day of 2022. Good luck, 2022. Because it wasn't all that fabulous. But we survived, darling dears. We learned how to bend the matrix, move in silence, cut off what needs to be cut off, remembering that we live by the Easter Island and Stevie Wonder. What's that? 2 of these and 1 of those. Let's dive in, darling dears. Because we always divine feminine. We stand tall together. Yes! 2023 is the year. It's your breakout year. Some of you will be stepping into the spotlight in fame, darling dears. Some of you will become a self-made millionaire. Some of you have understood in order to bend the matrix, you have to be humble and take the knee. Learn to walk on your own. Build your pentacles like MacDuck and say nothing to no one, divine feminine. When you know whom you are, you can't be took. Yes, we're going to get into it, darling dears. We're going to get, listen, you guys keep sending me emails. You want the camera, what? You want the camera on my face? Why do you want to be staring me dead in my eye all of the time? Why? I have to laugh, darling dears. Why? Because the planetary energies are. The moon enters Taurus, darling dears, the 2nd house of values, darling dears, and responsibilities, as well as luxuries, darling dears. Luxuries. It's about you what? Letting go of the past, darling dears. Use the energy of the moon sliding into Taurus to let go of what no longer serves you. It will hold you back, darling dear, and it will give you what? Wrinkles, grey hair, right, and a prolapsed womb. How about that? How about that? As I was saying, the moon enters Taurus. Take extra care of your home, right, your body. Indulge in comforts that are what? Within reason, darling dear. Just saw 333 on the counter, darling dear. This is the time for the universe to tell you that balance, darling dear, balance and equilibrium is on the way for you, divine feminine. It surely is. It always is. We've also got what? The Taurus moon squares Mercury, Venus, and Pluto this morning. This could create some emotional tension. Who wants to have emotional tension around me? Especially when I wake up. Especially for that shiznai, darling dears. Give yourself some extra time, darling dears, to regroup, right? I told you, on the stroke of midnight, wherever you are on this Malkuth, right? You will burn your intentions. Write it down and be clear. Because I told you, I wrote down for New Year's 2002, right? I wrote down that I wanted to get married. Who told me not to put down the footnote, Glad? I got the devil's strongest worker, Glad. Listen, don't let me go into that, darling dears. We're what? High vibing. High vibing, divine feminine. I keep telling you that. Right? Give yourself permission, darling dears, with the last hours of 2022, right? To what? Unpack emotions that are still lingering in your cranium. You know what they are, darling dears, because if you think about it, you get upset. We also have what? Venus in Capricorn conjunct Pluto in Capricorn, right? It's a good day to stay home, blood. Stay home and ring in the new year with your progeny, if you have it. If you don't, I will be back around the 12 o'clock hour to give you what? Live reads, darling dears. Let's get it popping and pushing in the right way. Yes, Divine Feminine. New rules. The rules are what? Whatever you like. Whatever you like. I keep telling you that, Divine Feminine. The Most High Father, God, Mother Isis' bag of tricks is infinite. Once you realize that Father God, Mother Isis hid within you, darling dears, that's when the other shoe dropped. And you realized shoes were not for you. You're a flip-flop type of a gal or boy, darling dears, because Divine Feminine is in all of us. We all have that masculine-feminine balance. This is why you are able to bend the matrix, darling dears. When you need to be the masculine in your life, you know how to be provider and protector. When you want the nurturing and to be on your what? The ruler of your subconscious, you get into your feminine, darling dears. Absolutely fabulous. 2023 is a number 7, darling dears. To work out your personal year, do I have the pen? Right. You're going back to school today, darling dears. To work out your own personal number for 2023, right? What's going on? It froze for a little bit there. For example, I can't think of any examples except mine. All right then, you write down the day. If it's a double figure, don't worry, you write out the double figure. All right then, for argument's sake, the 24th of the 1st, right? 3. I've forgotten how to write, blood. To work out your personal year, you add them all together. So this is 4 and that's 8. This is a 4. Nothing for the 0, and then we've got the 2, 4, 8, right? We don't leave the number like this. No, no, no. We add them all together because you have to. This is a compound number. When it's more than 2 or 3, it's a compound number, right? We want the fadic number, which is the single digit, right? So this is what? 8, 12, 14, right? This goes to 14, and we add that together. So if this is your date of birth, your personal year for 2023 will be a 5. Okay? Do you get it? All right. Now that I've got these things out of the way, and I've grown tired of you staring me dead in my eye chakra, right? I'm telling you, Divine Feminine. Let's dive in and have a little chat, a little tete-a-tete. Why? Because 2022 was a 6. That meant you had to find the answer within and step back from the overload, darling dears. The number says, right, come out of the cave. It's time for us to come out of the barn, darling dear, and go back on the field. Why? Aren't you tired of saying checkmate to people that no longer serve you in any way, shape, or form? It's time for you to get back out into the field, Divine Feminine, so that your what? Your minions can be identified, darling dears, and what? Categorized. Not everyone's allowed to come and sit with you on your throne, Divine Feminine, unfortunately. The number 7, it creates opportunities for brave and bold moves, and we are brave and we are bold. This is a number that requires a great deal of mental focus to help you manifest a stronger position. We are playing what? Chess for 2023, darling dears, not checkers. The number 7 also represents, in tarot, it represents the Chariot, darling dear. The Chariot is about progression, darling dear. It's about spiritual enlightenment. It's about success and moving forward. On the zodiac, number 7, also in tarot, darling dears. The 7 is also represented by what? Libra energy on the zodiac as well, darling dear. So it's also about what? Speaking your truth. It also speaks and points to the fact that you are about to create certain freedoms that is going to bring a lot of painful endings to others, darling dears, because you led with the truth. You had to tell yourself the truth in many situations so that you couldn't be a dummy bat anymore. It wasn't fabulous. We had to give the title to the less unfortunate, darling dears. Let them be the dummy bat going forwards. They worried about what? Keeping their toxic relationships, staying in that drudgerous job, putting up with disrespectful project. Listen, disrespectful progeny, I'd listen. You'll have to write to me in prison, darling dear. You would have to. Right? Children, you have to remember, darling dears, as a divine feminine, right? When you have progeny, you are supposed to what? Raise your children, darling dear, so that you get the chance to what? Spoil your grandchildren. But if you spoil your children, you're going to have to raise those grandchildren. And right about now, I'm feeling myself, darling dear. I already told my first progeny. I said, Kenya, don't you dare bring me a baby, a grandchild, until you're at least 35. In the meantime, I want you to go to university. She went to university. She's now just finished her master's in forensic psychology and mental health. Yes, baby. We're going to the celebration of that on the 5th of January. Listen, I tell my progeny how to get to the bag. That education is important because we are on this Malkuth, darling dear. Yes, you can be a keyboard gangster and be smartest one in the room, darling dear. But in some fields, especially if you want to be in the field that my daughter's gone into, you need the paperwork, darling dears, to get your foot in the door, right? But like I said, before I'm going to keep interrupting myself, right? Because there's no one to check me, boo. As I was saying, before I interrupted myself, we are playing chess, not checkers. In numerology, darling dears, there's a pattern. Yes, baby. The 6, 7, 8, and 9 is known as the what? Dark night of the soul, darling dears. Yeah, did you know that? I bet you didn't. Then I had to look over my shoulder because I told you I'm the red light, green light champion of 79. The number 7 propels you towards a spiritual journey to reclaim the lost treasures within you, darling dears. Right? Because 2022 was a 6. It called for us to go within, to do inner work, darling dear, to search for the answers from the inside. Look at the cat in the mirror and realize that you are the common denominator, darling dears. But 7 is telling us to come out of the barn and go into the field, right? Because your gifts, your talents, darling dears, are much needed and wanted. And not only that, you can't sock it to them if you're in the barn. Fist bump. The 7th month is mostly ruled by Cancer. And Cancer is what? The sign of the arm, the home, the family, and the progeny. And it's also, right, it's also been called as what? The number 7 has been known as what? Practical magic, darling dear. I'm telling you, everything is kicking off, right? Libra is the sign of what? The relationships and the commitments required for each of us to succeed. But the best relationship you will ever have, darling dear, is with yourself and the Most High. I told you, and I've told you many times, divine feminine. Love the Most High, Father, God, Mother Isis, then yourself. Third comes your progeny, because you can't love no one else if you don't love yourself. And how are you going to what? Teach and lead if you don't love yourself. The 4th and the 5th thing is the body and the bag, darling dear. Steady body, steady mind. Many people say, oh, I don't care about money. Didn't you get your electric and gas bill this year? You don't care about money, eh? Listen, if you don't know where to spend it, hit me up in the Gmail, darling dear. I will show you multiples of shops and charities that you can invest in if you don't want it. I told you, I'm a pointer, not a picker. You also have to remember, darling dears, Libra, as again, the 7th sign in the zodiac is ruled by Venus, the goddess of love, beauty, negotiation, and philosophy, darling dears. Yes, baby, we are philosophers right? And we have philosophical ideas, right? And we're going to be putting them out, right? We are going to be writing, painting, teaching, right? Creating new financial environments, darling dears, for the divine feminine to what? Stand up, because I told you, divine feminine, you are the survival kit for another big cat. Your testimony was a test until you realize that life is just a game, darling dear. And guess what? You come with the new rules. Remember, I told you that. As we call in the energies of wisdom, guidance, and protection from Father God, Mother Isis, ancestors, angels, way showers, and spiritual guides. From Keitha to Malkuth. Namaste! Energies. Up, divine feminine. I insist. Let's dive right in and see what's going on. We're going to kick off with a rune. I feel like I want to bubble it down, darling dear. When you cast runes, you read them from right to left. Good golly and gosh, if we're going to get one, let it be loud and proud. You have Jera, darling dears. What's that? The Wheel of Fortune. I heard the ground shake and quake, darling dear. It's represented by the oh, did I say Jera? Excusez-moi s'il vous plaît. I meant to say Dagaz, darling dears. Oh no, why did I mention Jera? Freudian slip, darling dears. Meant to come out. But anyway, Dagaz is judgment, darling dears, represented by the letter D. The numbers 80, 81, 82, and 83. This speaks about breakthrough. I told you already, divine feminines. New rules. And you are what? The writer of said rules. Remember, I told you that. Some of you are going to be signing contracts, darling dears. I told you. Many of you are going to be stepping into fame. And you're thinking, but many of us? Yes, darling dear. There's more than enough for everyone on this Malkuth. Don't let the 1% fool you, right? Divine gave abundance to us all. It also speaks about what? Your awakening. Some of you are more awakening to what you truly deserve on this Malkuth. And you're making plans, because Dagaz also speaks about plans. Your steps being divinely ordered, darling dears. Why did I say Jera? Because Jera is it's the Wheel of Fortune. Why wouldn't I say it? Right next to judgment? Now I know why the Freudian slip came out, darling dears. This is what? Infinite possibilities. Some of you will be taking a chance on gambling. It also speaks about the inheritance, darling dear. Something that you are inheriting, not from the physical, darling dears. This is ancestral inheritance. Some of you have done the due diligence. Even though you felt you weren't going nowhere, you're doing better than everyone else. You're able to what? Manage all of your responsibilities with the least amount of effort. You're working in a kind of like a Queen of Swords. Styly, darling dears. Not fraught and filled with bitterness. You are filled with wisdom and intelligence, and you are using it wisely. This is why you are gifted with the Judgment rune. Straight off the bat, darling dears. Judgment is what? Fire, water, and Pluto energy. It speaks about a final examination, or someone will be taking their final exams in the first month of 2023. It's going to create a new chapter in your life. It is the rebirth of you, divine feminine. Law number 25 of the 48 laws of power. Yes, I might as well add law number 48. You kept it moving, darling dear. You didn't wait for the grass to grow. You understood in order to evolve, you had to go through unavoidable change. And you are now about to be gifted with a change of status, as many of you will be stepping into the spotlight. Why? Because we're Big Cat and we cover all fields, darling dears. We are now what? The all-purpose cat. Yes, baby. I love it. I don't hate it. Did I tell you? Yes, I did. Dagaz, did I tell you what the numbers it was? I'll say it again. 80, 81, 82, and 83, as well as the letter D. For a dickhead, a dumbass, right? Divine feminine. I feel like crying, but I won't, because I don't want my eyelashes to blind me, right? You got the blank rune, darling dears. Right next to the judgment. So be it mote. Remember, be careful what you wish for, darling dears. because divine is about to give it to you. We already saw Dagaz. Dagaz promotes breakthrough, darling dears. And the blank rune. Make your wish, darling dear. Don't forget to write it down, because on the stroke of midnight, we will be burning our intentions, and make sure you are precise in exactly what you want. Wow. Very rarely comes out, but it came out for the last day of the 22s, darling dears, as we wave and what say, hasta la vista to what was, as we step into what must be in the name of the Most High. Oh, I love it. Don't hate it, I love it. What does your ancestors think about all of this and that? I'm gonna go with the Witch's Oracle Wisdom. Base of the deck, deaf to that, darling. Look! The watchers, the mouth breathers, those clowns. Their eyes are open and their mouth is shut. Matter of fact, they might as well sew that bitch shut, because anything they say will be what? Gingivitis, darling dears. Gingivitis, lies and subterfuge. And more swanky candles. Look! Right next to the blank rune, darling dears. Make your wish. Set your intention, divine feminine. I told you, 7 is the number for practical magic. Set your intention. Right. What does your ancestors want you to know? They've told you so much. What did I say? Write down and set your intentions. Can it be any more plain for you, divine feminine? I can't do communicative dancing because it doesn't work for me, darling dears. I only know swear fingers. So what? Yeah, that's right. I know swear fingers. Love and light. I told you, and your ancestors are telling you as well. Write down and set your intentions for 2023. Remember, I told you that. You set down your ready and your ethos the way you want it to unfold for you. You have the power. You have all of your ancestral attention, darling dears. They want you to write it down and set it in stone. Base of the deck. This is represented by what? The Empress in Tarot, darling dears. It looks like a hand fasting, and some of you will be what? Balancing out with what? Or balancing off a new futum or panani. Yes, baby. Some of you will be meeting your true love's first kiss in the first month of 2023. Well, that's all well and good, darling dears. But remember, we are still in Mercury retrograde in Capricorn. And if you're going into a relationship like this, I feel like I need to grip something tightly, Scotty. Right? I told you, I don't care who it is. They may come in holding Jesus and Buddha's hand, right? With signed, sealed, and stamped by the Most High Father God. They've still got to be interviewed, darling dears. Remember what happened before. Don't you love your hairline? Love your life. Love your life, divine feminine. Interview everyone. But this is again pointing back to what? The nurturing energy, darling dears. Of Venus. Because Venus rules the Empress in Tarot, darling dears. And abundance. In every level. Some of you are coming to terms with what? You are that cat. You have to realize it. You run things. You are so different, darling dear. Black sheep one day, different the next. And now everyone wants to be on your gang. Baby. The last person that sung that was Gary Glitter. They locked his ass up and now they're letting him out again. They shouldn't let him out. But that's my personal opinion. As I sip my mocha from my big cat cup. Hey! 2023 is your year, divine feminine. You worked hard for this. Do you know how many people haven't made it to the age that you are right now? They didn't get the second chance which you are being given with the Dagaz, the judgment rune, darling dears. You're being gifted this second chance. Why? Because you've been doing the due diligence. You've taken the time to become keyboard gangsters. You don't just take me at my word. You go and find Shiznai out. As you've worked out your personal year, I've showed you how to work out the personal year and everything, right? If it comes up as a 1, the single digit, the fadic digit comes down to a 1, it means independence and leadership. If it comes down to a 2, it's about cooperation and balance. The power behind the throne, for want of a better set of words. If you're a 3, it's about your self-expression and creativity. It's how you communicate yourself. It's about being artistic, darling dears, but it's also about you being more social or being more seen on the social scale, darling dears. You are about to stand up and be counted. If you're a 4, it speaks about what? Foundation. It's about you being disciplined and reliable, systematic, darling dears. But it also brings in what? Limitations, because heavy is the head that wears the crown. If you come up as a 5, it speaks about constructive freedom as well as change, being versatile, darling dears. 5 is also about travel, darling dear. If you're 5, there's a lot of travel going on for you in 2023, right? If you come up as a 6 is about balance. It's also the number for love, darling dears. It also speaks about you being more caring and protective as well as nurturing throughout 2023. A lot of or should I say community orientated. Yes, if you come through as a 7 is about analysis, darling dear. It's about getting the knowledge, darling dear. And 7 is the year. If your personal numerological number is a 7 and we're going into the 7, you can't fail, darling dears. You can't. You really can't. It's about the knowledge, darling dear, the wisdom, having had the introspection with what? The 6 of 2022. This is about a whole new spiritual level for you, darling dear. If you come up as an 8, it's about the material satisfaction, being in your authority, giving and receiving. If you come through as a 9 is about fruition. It's also about humanitarianism. It's about being the idealist but still remaining compassionate, especially when you have to understand that compassion must be for yourself, but it's also completion, ending of a cycle. I hope you got that, darling dears, and I hope you've worked out your personal year. I try to make you as armed and dangerous as I can with the times that I've got while I'm here. But like I said, make sure you set down your true intentions for 2023, every cat, and at the stroke of midnight, you burn that shit, right? Outside, don't burn it in your house, blood. I'm not even going to sigh, I'm just telling you, right? I'm not picking you, I'm pointing at, burn it outside, blood. And then you walk away. You don't see where the wind takes. It's none of your business. You want it to go into what? The spiritual realm, darling dears. So your ancestors can what? Sign, seal it, and deliver it unto you. Remember I told you that. You have what? You have Dagaz, the Wheel of Fortune, and the Blank Rune. Don't think you're not going to get a reward for all of the due diligence you did. All of those toxic people you had to cut off, you thought you needed them. The only thing you need is to what? Be in command of your subconscious, which rules your eyes blinking and your breathing, darling dear. You are the whole army, divine feminine. From the foot soldier up to the commandante. Many of you will be journaling or looking back at your journals on this New Year's Eve to see how far you've come. Me personally, I told you what I did with that journal I had behind me. It was the Red Book of Wickedness, darling dear. I burned it under a new moon. I think it was about a year or 2 ago. I had all that wickedness at my back. Listen, it's nice to reflect on a journal, but if you're not writing a book, blood, why would you want to unpack that? You already know what happened. You were there. You were there. Right? It's nice to keep a journal, but don't live in it, darling dear. That's all part of the DNS. Don't stay there too long. You'll be sorry. Let's carry on, darling dears. I feel like I need to go from this deck first of all. My FP555 Oracle Intel deck. I've got 2 and I've mixed them together because no one can check me, boo. Let's get the first set of messages up for you, divine feminine. Can you see my candle still? I like to see the light on the camera. Look! Karma. And the 5 and the 3 goes to an 8. 8 is the number of money, darling dears. I've told you. You're about to what? Luck up in a big way, darling dears. And it's not necessarily luck. They like to put luck on these things. It's not luck, darling dear. It's the due diligence and the hard work. The emotional maturity, darling dears. The cuttation of the soul ties. Realizing that you are badassery at its finest, divine feminine. This is why they're mad. And they're under the karma. Why? Many people thought you was easily replaced. You are irreplaceable, divine feminine. What's the matter with them? Now they see as they sit in the seat of karma, going through all of their what hawky sticks at dawn on the rocks of life, pretending with Pierrot and Pierrot. Remember, tears of a clown, darling dear. They're all clowns. Sons and daughters of Pennywise the clown, to be in fact. Yeah. Number turned over. The epiphany is the choices that you make, darling dear. When you decided to remove yourself from the south node, this is the less than, the summer, darling dears. Always compare your north node to your south node so that you don't backslide, darling dears. The 3 and the 4 is on the what? The 7, darling dear. 7 is loud and proud today. Why? Because listen, you've got snakes on your tail, darling dear. Straight out from slithering from the crevice of the devil's balls. And can you not see it's on a 7 again, darling dears? People are realizing how much you truly command, and they're going to see you step into that spotlight, darling dears. They're going to see you do the victory lap. Research. Look, I told you. They might watch you. They're paying close attention to see what you're going to do next, darling dear. They can't even anticipate your next move. Because you're here, you're there, you're everywhere. You are all-purpose. You're an all-purpose cat. Big cat wave. They don't know what you're going to pop up with next, darling dear. But we've also got the Venus. I told you about the Venus ruling Libra. It also rules Taurus. What do we need to discuss about this? The partnerships, darling dears. Many of you will be signing contracts, but some of it will be in the contracts to be in front of the camera, or it could be on the radio, darling dears. This is about you getting out the ideas that you've had on the inside. Many people are going to like your swag and how you move, darling dears. And this is what's going to take you to the next level. Remember, I told you that. It says what? Love, resources, right? Values and relationships, darling dear. You're going to be making new relationships. There's many people trying to find out exactly how you tick at this moment in time, but it's on a 9. The 9 is what? What we get into, divine feminine. When they 8 us, we 9 them. This is about the isolation of it all, darling dears. But divine wants you to what? Come out of the barn and go into the field. Why? Full-on isolation is dangerous. Law number 18 of the 48 laws of power, darling dears. But you must research everything. Don't take anything at face value, right? And if you don't know, you go to a person that knows exactly what they're talking about in the field that you're interested in. You ain't going to go to your hairdresser to ask her about what? Cryptocurrency. You're not going to go to your manicurist, right, to ask them about what? Building, I don't know, building houses. I don't know. You go to the right source, darling dears. And in many cases, you'll be guided to the person by your intuition. Because you have to remember, even though we are getting on with our lives, darling dears, and bending the matrix, you also have what? Divine coming into the play, darling dears, sending another character, another walk-in on your show, darling dears, because it's all about you, darling dear. After all, why not? People always look at things that are beautiful and out of their reach, darling dears. Out of their reach. Right, let me cut the fan on because it's getting hot in here. Right, let's get a deck and dive in. We're going to use, I don't even know where everything is. Let me just get a deck. Right, 9 of Cups in the reverse, darling dears. Somebody's not getting their wish fulfillment, and I told you, many people are in their feelings, blood. They are deep in their feelings. They wanted you to be broken, divine feminine. They wanted you to be in the madhouse, looking like Quasimodo's bestie, barking at passing cars and dusting off imaginary chicken feathers off your shoulders, darling dears. Well, what they wanted for you is on them. This is a lot of jealousy, a lot of bitterness, and I said they're in their feelings. Their feelings are easily hurt. That's their business. 9 of Cups on its face, divine feminine. Lean in, darling dear. Lean in. This is about somebody sitting amongst their unfulfilled wishes on the broken dreams in their life, darling dear. Yes. And it's not just one, darling dear, it's many. It could be a family, it could be a group of friends, darling dears. But it's the overindulgence of it all. And it's the self-importance that they put into the situation. They didn't think you'd cut them off. They thought you needed them. Ha ha! You need nothing but to be able to what? Blink and breathe on your own without the aid of a medical machine, darling dear. You didn't need them. They needed you. They needed your light. They tried to take your light and bring it to other people. But when you cut off them on a spiritual level, darling dears, they had to live amongst their own doings, darling dears. And they are what? As interesting as what? A paper bag full of holes, darling dears. That's how interesting they are. This and that. Let's give it a good shufti. Unfulfilled, darling dears. I'm hearing someone expected you to chase them or to come back. Or maybe that's how they treated the relationship that you had with them, darling dear. They was always stabbing you in the back and you was always forgiving them. Well, not anymore, darling dears. Oh, hell no. How now, brown cow? Where is Divine Feminine right now? Queen of Wands on her face, darling dears. Good golly and gosh. Listen. In the upright, the Queen of Wands is somebody who is planning, plotting, and strategizing. In the reverse, the Queen of Wands is someone who is what? How can I put it? You're trying to avoid some kind of negative vibe, or it's energy that's coming towards you. But it also speaks about jealousy, darling dears, as well as gossip. Yes. Yeah, a lot of bad energies being sent your way, possibly in the form of spell work. But you can't bring spells against a divine child who knows their role. Good golly and gosh. This is someone who is also bitter and jealous. This is somebody who is a professional mistress, or someone who is in a polygamous relationship that was meant to be monogamous. This is someone who is a mother, but that child had to bite off their own umbilical cord and hit the ground running. Someone is definitely in your energy. It could be a sister, it could be a mother, it may be even someone's wife. But whomsoever it is, they can't take your name out of their mouth. You're like stuck in their mouth, like glue, darling dears. Look what's underneath that. The Watchtower of the North. What's this? The Dark Night of the Soul. They're going for it, darling dear. Somebody's going for it and they're very upset because you're happy. You created a new life for yourself. Don't worry, we'll look a bit deeper in a minute. A lot of negative eyes. These mask-wearing marauders, darling dears. Yeah, this is the type of person that gossips about you, then comes around you and tells you what other people are saying. But they're not saying how comes they were so uncomfortable to tell them that. Because they was involved with what? The mouth meeting. The talking about you, darling dear. The wishing that you'd fail. There's a lot of wickedness on you at this moment in time. Good God. Clarify the Queen of Wands. Why are they gossiping and being jealous? You haven't done nothing to them. You didn't stab them, did you? They're alive. Look! Because of the person that they're dealing with. The King of all kings. Yeah, the King of the Narcs, darling dears. This is a narcissist, darling dears. This is someone who has the unsatisfied eyes. Didn't I just say? They're in a situation that's going down Bobby Brown and all eyes are on your throne. These two need to stay together at the mud hut. Where's that? The crevice of the devil's balls, darling dears. The address is 911 Freddy Krueger Avenue, 2 streets over from the loser lane in the District of the Damned. There's a couple in particular, a couple of knobends, darling dear, paying attention to you. Someone who's, listen, if they're wanting their partner to pay attention to their sexual wows, they're sadly mistaken. This person is fantasizing over you, darling dear. Both of them are fantasizing over. It's like them two of them want you. Good God. Right? What did I say? They feel disappointed about everything you've got going on. And if it's, listen, whomsoever it is in this situation that you may even know them on a more, how can I put it? Swapping of bodily fluids, darling dears. They're disappointed that you won't take that cup. This is somebody sitting around disillusioned, darling dear. And they're sorry, but they're not what? In remorse, darling dear. This is regret. Somebody regrets choosing someone over you. Good God, it's all falling into my head now. Cancer energy. We've also got Aries, Leo, Sagittarius energy on the tableau, darling dears. Somebody really regrets choosing another over you. They got themselves a whole narcissist, darling dear. Somebody who's a liar like them, a cheater like them, someone who uses sex to get what they want. Well, guess what? They got their mirror image, darling dear. And whomsoever you was involved with, that person wishes they could, you would offer your cup, or you'd take the cup from them. They can barely stop themselves. I told you, they're in their feelings, drinking it up, darling dear, drugging it up. One's energy in the reverse is a lot of verbal abuse, maybe evil, even, I nearly said evil, Freudian slip, meant to come out. A lot of fighting going on, darling dear. This is not going to be a happy new year, darling dear. This may even be the police report. Hey, I told you. Somebody's going to take out their energy on someone else because you've managed yourself from a situation that was not on your spiritual pay grade. Wow. Oh, wow. All because you decided to come off the field and go into the barn, and now Spirit is telling you to come out of the barn and go into the field. Listen. Yeah. Really watching what you've got going on. But they realize whomsoever this is who's feeling the most for you, darling dears, who's missing you the most, right? They know that you've got no long-term plans with them. They've got no long-term plans for their future, darling dears. And they've got a medical issue. 8 of Pentacles on its face is a mental issue. It speaks about destabilization in a home. It speaks about the black pocketers. Buddy, have you got a dime? Yes, baby, them have no Pentacles. Do we have time for petty? I wanted this read to be about you, Divine Feminine, but their energy is so strong. Jess? Where's Jess? Jess? Belle? Them have no Pentacles. No Pentacles. None. Not a bean. Right? If they've got, listen, this is a destabilization. This is a loss of a job, darling dear. It's a job where someone possibly wasn't even traveling, right? The Pentacles could represent the internet. It could be somebody in the healthcare field, darling dears, or even a driver. Something to do with that. Somebody's lost their job and it's not a happy situation. They try to cover up this crimbo season with the alcohol and the drugs they can't afford. It also speaks about having no one they can trust around them. Imagine that, right? There's no nurturing in the situation. It's purely the act of the sex, darling dear. Good God, who wants to be what, a cum bucket or a run through? They're running for each other, black. And it's not a nice situation. All of this one's energy is about fighting, active fighting, sitting in your ego, darling dears. As well as what? The spiritual as well as the physical debt. Well, I thought that was one of the progeny at the door trying to come in. Yeah, a lot's going on here, man. There's a whole lot going on, man. Right. So hold on a minute. Let's ask the question. Why are you so focused on the Divine Feminine? Can y'all win? 6 of Wands, the victory lap, darling dear. Your new rules. Where you don't want to be with what? The yesteryears, those from the pet cemetery, darling dear. You're winning. That's why they're focused on you, right? And what else? Not only are you winning, you're happy. And it breaks their heart to the core. They feel betrayed by you because you got up off your back, darling dear. Because you listened to Les Brown, who said, if you can look up, you can get up. And they're heartbroken about it. This is somebody that broke your heart, betrayed you. Somebody that told your deepest secrets, but yet you're still high vibing. You remember, darling dears, it's not what people call you, it's what you answer to. And you only answer to the Most High. This is happiness, darling dears. Holidays, travel. Some of you will be hearing that you're pregnant, darling dear. Well, if you're pregnant for someone in this situation, this King of Wands, you will be mother. They ain't got no money, blood. And they're not well in their cranium. Do you really want to leave your progeny with them? All they're going to do is talk about you. They'll be the original simp, darling dear. The mask, was it? The unmasked, right, cape-wearing simp. All they're going to do is talk about you to the progeny, right? They're heartbroken that you was able to bend the matrix, stand up again, darling dears. Sun energy, in the upright, I might add. This is about your inner child healing. This is what 2022 was all about, Divine Feminine. You healing from the inside out, realizing circumstances and situations that you went through, right? They weren't a curse, they was a blessing. And each circumstance and situation you had to circumvent, darling dears, and overcome was worse than the last. Why? Because you're the common denominator. You chose to come back to help uplift this Malkuth with your creativities, darling dears. And you've got your what? Your old thang back. What's that? Your badass alchemist ways. Bad bitch be thy name. Listen. Posh clap, Divine Feminine. Posh clap. They don't like the fact that you're winning. It breaks their heart. That black free space. Yeah. Heartbroken because you're winning, because you're happy, because you moved on. Judgment knows their address in thigh-high red leather boots, I might add. Karma's found them, darling dear. They, them, and And when you see the judgment card, it's an ex with a friend, family member, ex-lover, whatever, progeny, whatever, ex-colleague. They want to come back. Now they want to invest in you. 7 of Pentacles. They want to invest in you. They mean they want to infest you, darling dears. We don't do infestation. No. They want to infest you, darling dears. But you are saying what? Your ancestors are saying, nah. Halt. Who goes there? They can't go any further. Knight of Wands. You're not listening to any of their energies. And you're sure she's naive. Don't want that Panania Fortum that's been around the world and ay. Oh, hell no. You are vigilant. You are vigilant. 9 of Wands. You can't slip past me. Listen. And whomsoever you've been talking about the divine, talking about the divine feminine too, darling dears, they can get it as well. Knight of Swords. Right? This is your coming out season, Hermit in the reverse. No more being at the back, darling dear. They thunk you was at the back. No, mate. You have to remember, when you are about to shoot an arrow, you have to pull it back in order for it to jettison out there into the hemisphere, darling dears. You are about to be on the upturn in your life. Split the deck if you think I'm joking, darling dears. I kid you not. 9 of Pentacles is about the what? The slow but steady growth, but it's also about minding your own business, darling dear. Being drama free. You don't even realize your DNS was the best times of your life, darling dear, where you got to know you. And you are winning. And blessed, Divine Feminine. Split the deck again. Look at this, Chariot on its face. They didn't want you to succeed. And it's also about car issues. Somebody's got an issue with their Chariot of Righteousness. It also speaks about some kind of a traveling holiday. If you're going on a traveling holiday, those are not your friends. You best go on your own, mate. Go on your own. Let's get some more messages out. Do we still use this deck? No, the deck is hot. We'll get another deck. Hold on a sec. Oh, I haven't got any tissues. Oh my God, these progeny, they're wicked. They're like the devil's strongest workers. Like they move when I'm sleeping, darling dears. When I'm sleeping. Look. Toxic situation, darling dear. Stuck watching you what? Bend the matrix and reclaim the world that you was meant to live in, darling dears. 2 of Wands on its face. And it also speaks about the stagnancy, darling dears. If you have an idea, act on it immediately. Immediately. Don't let the grass grow. This is about you what? Realizing that when divine is coming through with opportunities for you, darling dears, you have to strike while the iron is hot. This is not the time to be foolish and slow. Just wanted to come up. And that's the truth roof. Pinky's up. What else? Right? Because you are bound to win. I told you, you done the work, Divine Feminine. This is why Divine gave you a whole new rule book for you to write down exactly what you want to manifest for 2023. This one doesn't want to go in. Yeah. Look, come back in the upright. This is time for you to what? Let go of toxic temporary situations. Understand that it's a blessing. It was sent there for you to understand and know thyself, darling dears, and realize there's a big wide world out there. You don't have to stay in what? The fishbowl when divine is gifting you with the whole ocean, darling dears. Because you have to remember, a shark will only grow to what? A few inches if you put it in a tank. But you put that bitch in the ocean and you better know how to swim. Hey! Yeah! Base of the deck, because you are bound to win. And this is about being engaged or being engaging, and it's also public speaking for some, darling dears. I see many of you going onto a platform. It could be in Pronto, maybe it's a TED talk, a TEDx talk, I don't know, but you're going to be stepping out in such a way, darling dear, that your truth and your words are going to be undeniable. Your spirit, your strength, leading with it, darling dear, pushing through, moving forward at a hot trot. Don't look back. Remember Lot's wife. Clarify the Ace of Swords, King of Cups. Master your emotions about past situations, darling dears. I told you we're going to use the final hours of 2022 to unpack, but you have to what? Overcome all situations, darling dear. Don't allow past situations to make you be on a Debbie Downer. Divine has gifted you with so much new things. If only you could see it, darling dears. But just know it, because you've been covered, you've been protected, you've been guided, and you woke up. The 8 is the number of what? Wealth, darling. Money. Sorry, 28 is the number of wealth. Let's clarify these cards before we press on and get out of here. Clarify the Ace of Swords, please. We've got 4 different messages here. The Ace of Swords is about the truth, darling. It's about having the clarity in situations, as well as what? The strength of mind to follow your own words, your own actions. Base of the deck. Because you're about to secure a major bag, darling dear. This is a whole new home, a new job, a new business. This is also about your mental health, darling dear. Understanding that it's your wealth. This is keeping your mental health unlocked. This is about not putting your energies in situations that you don't have no business going. I'm talking about if it's family members that kept you down, you don't have to go to that wedding. Not even a funeral, darling dear. You don't have to go. You have to remember, big cat don't go where they feel uncomfortable. You go where you can control the environment. Why? Because God sends you there, darling dears, with your shoulders back and your head up. No. You control the environments that you walk in throughout 2023. Some of you are going to be looking for a bank loan or something like that. Not while we're still in Mercury retrograde, darling dear, because you won't get it. Ace of Cups on its face. 2 aces on the tableau speaks about a difficult union, darling dears, especially when one of them is in the reverse. If you're looking for a bank loan at the beginning of 2023, you're not going to get it. What did I just say? You're not going to get it. Disappointment. So you better be careful with your thrillers, darling dears. You're not going to be happy. Clarify the Chariot. It's moving forward. It could be travel or journey at the beginning of 2023 for some divine feminines. How is this traveling going to go? Baby, if you're traveling with others, what did I say? Don't go. All the cards are telling you to lead on your own understanding, blood, so you can live to tell the tale. Yeah. Jealousy, darling dears. This is somebody planning and plotting, right? Someone who does not like you. If you're planning to go on a holiday or to go and stay in someone else's home at the beginning of 2023, divine feminine, don't go. Live to tell the tale. They're setting you up. Then when you see the High Priestess on her face, it also speaks about spell work, maybe even black magic, trying to put something in your food, I don't know, to mess with your mental, darling. The next thing you know, you're barking at passing cars, right, in the street like Quasimodo's bestie. If it's the new year you're meant to be ringing in with family, don't go. Stay amongst yourself. Continue to work on whatever it is, darling dear, because you've already said checkmate. We're about to what? Clear the field and create a new chessboard. Don't go, darling dears. Some of you are going to be traveling far to be amongst family members for New Year's. Don't do it. Stay where you are, blood. Because no God, there will be no God in that house. That means all the spirits will be there waiting for you, darling dear. And every one of them don't like you, divine feminine. Don't like you. They don't like your eyelashes. They don't like you. Don't go. Right? Because you'll be on a knife's edge. 10 of Swords. Clarify the 2 of Wands. Turning your back on toxic situation. Karma! Can you you bring me some tissues? Because you... Oh, no, excuse me a minute. I need a tissue. Excuse me a minute. Divine Feminine. They come in my office and they take all of my things. Give me some tissues. Quickly. I'm in the middle of a live. Sorry about that, darling dears, but my nose was nearly dripping onto my top lip, all right? And when I call these progeny, I like them to come at a hot shot. I like them to be on their toes, because when you're running, you're on your toes, right? Anyway, the Two of Wands, darling dear. You're going to have to leave behind toxic situations in order to get what you truly deserve in 2023. You're going to have to learn to read the room, darling dear. Wands is also about spiritual energy. Read the energy of people coming around you. Remember, people are going to love your light. They're going to want to be in your light, but you have to remember they are doppelgangers to the truth. They're trying to take your power grid, right? And they're toxic. And be careful of your eating and drinking around certain people. Listen, this is a lot of warnings for you, darling dear. But you have the badass alchemist ways. Victory, darling dears. And again, the magician speaks about short journeys. Be careful of the journeys you go on, darling dear. And if you're going, you go alone. And make sure that you have your mad money, right? So you can leave whenever you want to. Knight of Pentacles speaks about you manifesting what? Whatever. Some of you have felt that you've had nothing but slow progress with a new business. Maybe it's in your higher education. Maybe it's in your new healthier regimes, darling dear. But you know what? It's one step at a time. It does take a while to what? Undo the mind control of a lifetime, darling dear, to get to a more healthier place in your life. You also have good golly and gosh, love it. The Wheel of Fortune in the upright. A new beginning, darling dear. But the healing, there's something that needs to be healed. Keeps coming out. What is it? Let's bring it out so we can see. What needs to be healed for the Divine Feminine? Base of the deck, look. More healing. What is it that needs to be healed? What is it? Some people are still upset about the amount of time they wasted in a situation, but you have to understand, you have been on a difficult journey, but you have not been walking alone, okay? Your ancestral team is there for you to call at any time. It's also about what? Healing how you manage your time and your finances, darling dear. Some of you need to take an honest look at your time and your finances. Also, when we see the Temperance, darling dear, if you're planning to go on a journey over New Year's Eve, you're being told not to go. How many more warnings do you need, darling dear? You've also got the what? Queen of Wands. This is plan, plotting, and strategizing. You need to spend this New Year's Eve to work out your future goals. This goes to Four of Wands, darling dears. Divine will gift you with what? An 11-11 fade. Take the time to rearrange what you want to come towards you in 2023. Set your intentions and burn them at midnight. Told you. But be precise. Tower moment. Because that sudden change will come on you suddenly, darling dears. Because you've been isolated. This is about you learning new things. This was the time for you. 2022 was a time for self-improvement, self-examination, becoming more self-aware. This is also spiritual protection, darling dear. And it was also what? The sign of knowledge. Some of you need to get more in the knowledge, darling dears. Especially if you're going to be divorcing someone or leaving a situation at the beginning of 2023. Make sure you're going clued up. Someone is definitely leaving a situation. It's also my travel card as well. Tell me something more about this travel. Yeah, somebody traveling towards you to give you an offer. Don't take that cup, darling dear. Wash your face like David. This is not someone that is your friend. This is someone that wants to break you down one way or the other. Someone or someone's. What's this? King of Wands. What about the King of Wands? Listen, you know how I feel about the King of Wands, darling dear. Whether reversed or in the upright, somebody sees that glow. Somebody sees that you're winning, darling dear. The Empress of everything, Divine Feminine. You're embodying all of the queens. The Queen of Swords, highly intelligent, spiritual, darling dears, but yet you speak you're not afraid to speak your truth. The Queen of Cups, highly intuitive, nurturing, loyal. The Queen of Pentacles, the keeper of the bag, darling dears. Yes, baby. And the Queen of Wands, you act on your ideas. People see you as different. Someone is seeing you as different, King of Wands, right? But it's a big deal that this person is a knight. It's someone that you must continue to disappoint, darling dear. So they would love to come and offer up for you for New Year's, darling dear, but you don't want to be the sacrificial lamb. You leaving them exactly where they are, and them watching you what? Bend the matrix is all the justice you need. And it goes back to what? That 7. Because this is represented by Libra. Libra is the seventh house in the zodiac. You're going to make the right choices, darling dear, where you will get equal give and take. And again, this is recognition, darling dear. And again, we see what? The scales of balance. Split the deck. Take this leap of faith. This is a new beginning. It also speaks about a new partner or partners coming towards you. But again, it's new beginnings. Split the deck again. We see the 9 of Pentacles, darling dear. Many of you, Divine Feminine, are solo dolo, like the boys or girls on the pole. Best position to be in. You can't be interrupted to what? Reinforce your power grid, darling dears. This is not the year, 2023, to bring any tampon strings with you, darling dear. And you know how intrusive a tampon string can be. You already gave up your psychological password to people that didn't even deserve 5 seconds of your time. This is why you had to be by yourself, darling dear, to realize how bad of a cat you are. You are the baddest cat of them all. You have the badass alchemist ways, darling dears, and you are drama free. This is why you're gifted. You are gifted and about to be blessed. Split the deck again. And who God bless, no man can curse. Remember I told you that. Let's get some more messages. And then we're going to finish this read. Lots of messages came out this time. Oh my God. Excuse me a second. Best out than in, because I'm telling you. I've been trying to stay away from the children. Every time they come near me, right, I'm bandishing onions around, right? But it seems like they're trying to make me get sick. I'm not having it. We're going to finish out the read, Divine Feminine. We've got the Distant Traveler. Wisdom of the Oracle. Making Magic Oracle card. We also have, this is what I'm saying, they come in here at night time, mostly. We also have Kipper. We're going to go with one more. Choose 2 decks, darling dears. 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. 2 decks to finish out this last read for Divine Feminine for 2023. Please hit the thumbs up button if you're enjoying the read. 186 in the chat. Fist bump and a big cat wave. 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. Choose 2 numbers. We've got Donnie Renee with 2 and 4. Okay. Final messages for Divine Feminine for 2022. As we say, love and light to what can't come with us. What did I say? You are between worlds, darling dears. You have the 3D body, but the 5D mind. This is about you making more wiser choices because you are about to be on a platform. I told you. Many of you Divine Feminines will be stepping into fame in whatever field and arena you decided to dip your toe into, darling dears. But you have to go into that area with a 5D mind where everyone is being interviewed. Learn to read the energy of the room and understand your worth and add tax in every situation, darling dear. Love it. Base of the deck, because there's no place like home. That must be the King of Wands who nobody don't want because they're really a knight. Who's what? A dick-dealing, mattress back, pedestrian sperm engineer. What's this? New beginning again, darling dear. And this new beginning is what? Judgment or justice. On your side, darling dear. And remember, this new beginning is going to be set off by the papers, whatever you write down tonight, darling dears, and burn. Make sure that your intentions are clear. Harm to none. Somebody's also going to be getting an approval of an adoption. Yeah, because yours mature, Divine Feminine. This is why Divine is gifting you a new pathway. The 3 and the 5 is an 8. Wealth, darling dear. The 6 is the Gemini energy, Mercury energy, darling dears. You had a rational mind. You had to sit like this for a long time, Divine Feminine, as you planned, plotted, and strategized. This is why you're going to get all that you truly deserve. But remember, as you walk into this new season, the best season of your life, darling dear, you're going to have many hanger-ons, Klingons, darling dear. Make them know that this ain't Star Trek and you don't want no repeat series with them. Learn to read the energy, Divine Feminine. Read the energy. You are in this world, not of this world. Final card. Yeah, toil and labor, darling dear. There will, whoever was focused on that, poor say, can't you see that cat in the back? You was focused on the work, darling dear, and working on yourself, building your empire, doing your studies, whatever you did, Divine Feminine. You did the right thing. The 3 and the 8 goes to what? An 11. 11 is what? Synchronicity, right? Being inspired and being gifted. It's also a master number, darling dears. You was a volunteer to this situation, right? And every time they check your social media, their heart goes boom, diddy, boom, diddy, boom. They are pressed and stressed. The 14 is the number of temperance, darling dear. Your ancestral team love to make sure that they notice and get the highlights of what's going down for you, Divine Feminine. Let them continue to watch. You was always the Empress in the picture. Let them watch you at your back, darling dear. They haven't done the shadow work. All they can do is focus on your grass, darling dear, instead of looking at their own. AstroTurf 21 is circumstance or situation, could be with family members or someone whom you saw as family. It's over. All they can do is watch you, darling dear. But yet, they don't know what your next move is. They don't. On that note, I'm out of here, all right? Because I've got things to do. I'll go get fabulous, gorgeous and lovely. And I haven't got my glasses on. Loving it, Divine Feminine. Remember, we always stand tall. You keep it tight and right, darling dears. Remember, you write down. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. And Big Cat is meant and built to bend the matrix in any way you see fit, Divine Feminine. We don't take back no chat, and we don't take nobody back. There is what? Sale and no return. Whosoever left your life, or you had to tell them to get out before you go to, I go to prison, right? Leave them where they are. They underestimated you. They counted you out, Divine Feminine. They said you was different. Vive la difference, Divine Feminine. On that note, I drops me mine. Turn love to my Teespring, turn love to my Patreon, or simply come back here. And as I always say, don't get smoked, and don't smoke yourself. From the ashes, baby. Namaste. Big Cat Wave. Until we meet again on the Tarot Streets, Divine Feminine.